The forces made them fantastic, will give rise to a new power, and nothing will ever be the same. Hey everyone, it's Movie Lover 120 here, and I'm here with a brand new movie review, and this movie review is going to be for the sequel to the film I reviewed yesterday, and that of course would have to be none other than what I like to call a sequel I think is actually kind of better than the first one, which is surprising because a lot of people hate this one more. There's some who like this one more, and some who hate this one more than the previous film. But I'm one of the people who likes this one more, as of course 2007's Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer. Yeah. AKA the film that was released in 2007. So what's the plot of this movie? Well, everything seems to be going great for the Fantastic Four. Reed and Sue are finally getting married, and things couldn't seem better. However, when the mysterious Silver Surfer crashes things, they learn that they will have to deal with an overflow, and the powerful planet-eating Galactus, who looks like a cloud in this movie. Yep. So, how is this movie made? Well, after the first film grossed $330 million worldwide, 20th Century Fox hired director Tim Story and screenwriter Mark Frost in December 2005 to return for the superheroes team's sequel. Screenwriters Frost and Don Payne were hired to write the screenplay. Payne has said that the film would be based on the Galactus trilogy, in which Galactus also makes an appearance, as well as issues 57 to 60, in which Doom steals the Surfer's power. Payne even said the film takes inspiration from the Ultimate Marvel Limited Series Ultimate Extinction. As of March 2007, Galactus' design was not even yet done, and by April 18th, until hiring Lawrence Fishburne to perform the voice for Silver Surfer, the filmmakers were unsure whether the character would speak. The sequel, whose working title was just Fantastic Four 2, became Rise of the Silver Surfer in August 2006, with filming beginning on August 28th in Vancouver, and set for a release date on June 15, 2007. Michael Chiklis' prosthetics as a thing were also redesigned to allow him to take it off between takes and for better ventilation. So, the film was released on June 15, 2007 into theaters on North America, and like the first film, it received mixed to negative reviews from critics, although some considered it unimprovement over the first film. While it was the highest-grossing film during its first week, the film ultimately made less than its predecessor. A third film was planned, but due to conflicts between the director and Jessica Alba, who hated working on this movie, the producers were having trouble finding a new director for a planned Silver Surfer spin-off, and the franchise ended up in development hell. So, when it comes to this movie, people are split. There's fans who like this one more than the first film, and there's fans who hate this one more than the first film. And like I've said before, guys, I'm actually one of the people who likes this one a lot more. There's more Fantastic Four action this time around, but I still like the first one as well, but I like this one more because there's more action this time around. I think the characters get better use in this movie, and some characters get better development, and we're going to get to those, which characters do in a bit. So, before I get into details, we all know this was the last Marvel film to be released before they built the Marvel world we all know and love, known as the MCU. However, some standalone productions would still get made, like Punisher Warzone, Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance, The Amazing Spider-Man films. And some were still successful, some were not. Yeah. Like, the not successful stuff was Warzone. I actually do like Warzone, though. I think Warzone's a lot of fun. Camera shakiness, that movie can fuck itself, and I can see why it failed. The Amazing Spider-Man films, Amazing Spider-Man 1, good. Amazing Spider-Man 2, nope. And then, of course, that was pretty much it until, oh yeah. And then Sony had their own Sonyverse with Venom. The 2 Venom movies, and the soon-to-be panned Morbius. So yeah. So when you think about it, Fantastic Four is the black sheep in the Marvel family. But a bonkers fun black sheep. Like, it's a mess sometimes, no doubt about it, but it still looks good. It's never dull, to be honest. It's a step up from the previous movie to me. In a world where everyone who makes a comic book movie tries to make the next Iron Man or Dark Knight, films like this, just big dumb ones, are now a thing in the past. I kind of miss the big dumb ones. They were, sure, they're not great movies, but they were still fun to watch as you get older. One of the biggest improvements Rise has over the first one is the fact that the Fantastic work more as a team in this film. Yeah, in the first movie they fought together, but it seems as if they each were fighting different battles within one big one. Here, they take a different route and take on even the smaller events together. And also, the writing is much better, making Reed, aka Mr. Fantastic, out to be the leader of the four, much unlike the first movie, which kind of bothered me. Ion Gruffhead really seems like a leader in this movie, which was a definite strength. Chris Evans also flexes some acting muscle, as the Human Torch is also well written this time around, giving him a wake-up call and turning him to a more believable human character this time around, while still having his comedic charm. Alba and Chiklis are both good as the Invisible Woman and the Thing. I don't care what people say about Alba being miscast, I still like her in this role. And Doug Jones, who does the motion capture for Silver Surfer, and Lawrence Fishburne, who voices the Silver Surfer, portray him brilliantly as body and voice respectively. Fishburne has the incredible ability to say the deadliest of lines, like "all that you know is at an end," with unbelievable ease and charismatic charm. He's the perfect choice of the voice of one of the most powerful comic book characters. I like how they even wrote the Surfer as well. Like, he does become vulnerable in the film, but at the same time you'll have no doubt that he is the most powerful character by the time the ending rolls around. Joe Jones always impresses me with how he captures and creates a character while doing so little. And after the successful turns in Pan's Labyrinth and Hellboy, Jones gives the Surfer life just as he did Abe Sapien in the Hellboy movies. Kerry Washington and Julian McMahon are also good reprising their roles as Alicia Matters and Doctor Doom. I mean, I still think Julian McMahon is the perfect Doctor Doom, really. I don't know why people hate his performance. I still think his performance is pretty good. Sure, his Doctor Doom could be a little better, but I still think he does a good performance. McMahon especially, he's even better as the evil, manipulative Doctor Doom this time around. This one, I think he improves his performance a lot. And I love the action sequences. Now, sure, there's still some bad qualities that can happen in this movie. For sure, like, I would say the bad qualities are that the movie's wedding subplot for Reed Richards and Sue Storm is very irrelevant and pointless, and it kind of appears over and over and over again in the first half, but it's thankfully not overhogging the entire film at all, so there is that. It still takes place heavily on Earth and not really in different parts of the universe like in the comics, but luckily there were some scenes that are outer space this time around. The Human Torch and the Thing don't have as big of a role in this film compared to the first one, but their arc is pretty good. Like, I like how they kind of have to tolerate each other the whole film, and as the film progresses, they start to warm up to one another, and Ben realizes that Johnny's just jealous that he has someone and he doesn't. And even... yeah, so I kind of like that. I kind of like how they have to learn to put up with each other in this film. It's a pretty good story arc for them. And it even helps Johnny in the final fight with Doom in secret, even though he technically was just supposed to hide and wait it out, but no, instead he decides to assist the Human Torch secretly so he doesn't go down fighting alone. So yeah, I really like that. They make Torch and the Thing really put up with each other for a little bit and actually kind of get along better in this film. I really liked what they did there. Now that's character development. So they actually gave Torch more character development. They made him actually a little more interesting. Another thing And then back to bad boys, though. Another thing I don't like is that Sue Storm is really unlikable in this movie because she's more concerned about her wedding than the end of the world. Not helping that apparently even Jessica Alba hated doing this film. And it's the reason we never got a third film in this series. But back on to the good qualities. Well, the Silver Surfer was truly a star in this film. His cool appearance and action sequences are great to watch. I even liked once again that the voice was given by Lawrence Fishburne. Very great choices. He delivered a few lines of the Surfer with just the right mix of sinisterness and dignity. And then there's another bad quality I kind of have is, I almost forgot to mention this. Because, like, yeah, this deserves to be mentioned because it's a big the fuck moment in comic book history. Galactus isn't really in this. I mean, he is, but he's really just a talking cloud. Because they couldn't finish because they were too cheap to finish his design. Yeah. Just, what? Like, you're putting Galactus in your freaking movie, and you make him a fucking cloud? That just... the whole entire time. He doesn't even do anything. Like, he just looks down angry at the world. He's just a cloud the entire time he's on screen for like 5 minutes. So, I don't really see a point putting Galactus in this movie if we're just going to make him a cloud and not even finish his design on time. But whatever. I mean, it is what it is. I honestly do consider this still to be a good, fun film despite those bad qualities, and I think it is tragically, criminally under-recognized and underrated. And I even hated that Fox had plans to reboot the series, because I really still wanted to see a third entry in the series and complete the story arc. Just, like, I didn't care what people thought about this, we still should have had a third film. Like, after seeing Spider-Man No Way Home, I really hope that maybe... just maybe, after Spider-Man, we got to see Tobey and Andrew get No Way Home, just maybe we could possibly see a cameo version of these someday when MCU does a Fantastic Four. Like, just have them be like cameos or something like that. Heck, even just have the actors who played them be cameos in the MCU reboot. I wouldn't mind that. Maybe, because if that did happen, maybe I would try to give the MCU reboot a chance. But as it stands, the two Fantastic Four movies are still a lot of fun, and I would recommend both of them, depending on your opinions. This one in particular, to me, is the better of the two, and you're probably going to be so mad at me hearing me say that. To anyone seeking a good, silly, fun time with a good, silly, fun film that's just supposed to be just a bunch of dumb fun, not some MCU-style masterpiece, just dumb 2000s fun, or good 2000s throwback. And hey, you gotta admit, guys, it's better than the fucking bullshit I have to do next. I am literally about to watch that movie, the one you're probably all thinking of, after I finish this review, and while this review is uploading to YouTube. Fucking help me! Anyway, here's my final recommendation of Rise of the Silver Surfer. So overall, if you want to see a film that has more action because you were disappointed by the first film barely having any action, then give this movie a watch because in my opinion, it is worth the watch. If you are wondering how I'm going to rank Rise of the Silver Surfer, I'm going to give Rise of the Silver Surfer an 8 out of 10. There we go. Just wrapped up my review for Rise of the Silver Surfer, and we are done with the Tim Story duology. So, wish me luck, everybody. I'm about to go watch the 2015 crap for the first time because I never saw it when it first came out because it looked like absolute bullshit. And apparently it was bullshit, so I did a smart choice and I avoided it even further. And almost everybody, like Lucamus Prime, almost everybody has been warning me about this one. That I am in for some real crap when I turn this movie on. Yeah, this is going to be so much fun ranting on next. But until then, that'll be it for this review. Thank y'all for watching, and if you like this and want to see more, And don't forget to like, subscribe to Movie Lover 120.